Are you ready to break free from what's holding you back? Introducing Let It Go and Flourish, a transformative podcast that guides you toward becoming the best version of yourself professionally and personally. Each episode empowers you to release the limitations, fears, and old patterns that keep you stuck, while embracing the strategies and mindsets that lead to true success. Through powerful conversations and expert insights, you'll discover how to transform your career trajectory while maintaining inner balance, build unshakable confidence in your abilities, create meaningful relationships that support your growth, and master the art of letting go to make room for what serves you. Whether you're climbing the corporate ladder, building your dream business, or seeking deeper personal fulfillment, Let It Go and Flourish provides the guidance you need to thrive in all areas of life. Join our community of forward-thinking individuals who are ready to release what no longer serves them and step into their full potential. New episodes drop every Friday at 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. Visit merlinclark.com to listen to the podcast and take the first step toward your extraordinary future. Remember, your greatest self emerges when you let go of who you think you should be and embrace who you truly are. Let it go and flourish. Release, renew, and rise.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Let It Go and Flourish podcast show. This is episode 8 of season 2. Wow. And I am your host, Merlin A. Clark, and I thank you so much for tuning in today. Now, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, the Let It Go and Flourish podcast is a transformative podcast that guides you in becoming the best version of yourself, both professionally and personally. Now, the inspiration for the podcast came from my book, Let It Go and Flourish, Live a Life of Peace, Passion, and Purpose. Again, let it go and flourish. Live a life of peace, passion, and purpose. And today, you are in for a very special treat. I'm telling you, I'm fortunate to have Ramona Rogers as my expert guest. And she will be dropping major value, major. But before I present Ramona to you, I'd like to share some information about her so you'll get to know this person. For those of you who don't already know Ramona, she is a transformational speaker, media visionary, and the founder of Crowned for More, a purpose-driven coaching and media brand dedicated to helping individuals step into their God-given identity, authority, and influence. Let me repeat that. God-given identity, authority, and influence. Her work precedes achievement, empowering growth-minded entrepreneurs and leaders to build from who they are, not just what they do. Through her teachings, Ramona blends biblical principles, mindset mastery, and practical execution strategies such as daily methods of operations, DMOs, and income-producing activities, her IPAs. She is also the host of Crowned for More podcast, where she leads conversations on faith, influence, authority, and wealth. She is known for her clarity, conviction, and leadership presence, and she equips her audience to move from vision to execution with confidence, consistency, and purpose. You see, many of us have a vision, but we don't do it. We don't take an action. So she moves you from that vision to execute. At this time, family, I'd love to welcome Ramona. Ramona, wow. It's so wonderful to have you here today.
Hello, Marlene.
Yes. Now, I met Ramona several years ago. on Clubhouse.
Yes.
Many of you are aware of what that is. It's a social platform. And we've met in different rooms where she serves as moderator in the John Lee room and even her own room. She came in my room, the Let's Talk Leadership room, and we connected on LinkedIn. And I have been a speaker on her virtual conference.
Absolutely.
And on Tuesday mornings, we have prayer time. Yes, we
Yes.
do. So
Vital.
I had to have her here. Ramona, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Wow. Thank you so much, Marlene, for that phenomenal introduction. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. And it has been so rewarding. And it was definitely a divine connection for us to connect. And now, still years later, still be connected and collaborating in many ways, as well as supporting each other in our businesses, as well as on several different platforms as well. So it's an absolute pleasure to be here, and I can't wait to get into this phenomenal conversation and share major value to your audience.
Absolutely, absolutely. The audience is what we are about. It's never
Absolutely.
about us, right? It's about
At
them
all.
and what
There
we
you
bring
go.
to them, what we bring to them.
Absolutely.
And I've mentioned before that she is a business coach, a certified Toastmaster speaker. She's
Yes.
all that. She has a lengthy bio, but because of time, I read a shorter version, folks. So
Absolutely.
this is who we have today. And the title of today's show, How to Launch and Scale Your Business. So if you are already an entrepreneur wanting to learn how to scale your business, or if you are thinking about starting a business, this show is for you. And with that in mind,
Absolutely.
I have a few questions for her, and I know she's going to drop major value. I said that before. So the first thing I want to find out, Ramona, you are a serial entrepreneur. You
Yes.
are the organizer of the Royal Influence Organization and
Yes.
Queenpreneur. So let me ask you this. What would you tell a new entrepreneur just starting out would be the
Wow.
best and quickest way to start a business?
Wow, I absolutely love that question. So, for the new entrepreneur out there who is looking to start a business, first and foremost, do your research, do your due diligence, and make sure that you have researched whatever it is that you are going to be providing the solution for, because that is exactly what businesses do, right? We provide solutions. And what you need to find out as a brand new entrepreneur going into business is whatever my solution is, what is the problem that my ideal customer avatar has that I am now going to provide the solution to? And you may want to use AI to find out, is this going to be a problem where a lot of people are dealing with right now? Because when you're dealing with building businesses, timing is everything. And sometimes the business is cyclical anyway, but sometimes your solution is not really a big problem in the marketplace at this particular time. So there may not be an abundance of people that's having that specific problem right now. And the best way for you to find out what is the major problem in the marketplace right now, where is there a majority of people having this one major problem, so that when I am building my business and I'm investing in tools and I'm investing in all of the strategies and I'm investing in myself, meaning personal development, etc., you want to make sure that you're not wasting your time building a solution for a problem where there's not a lot of lucrative customers or clients that need your solution. That way, you aren't spinning your wheels, wasting your time, and then you say entrepreneurship is not for you, or you think entrepreneurship doesn't work, when it does work, if you work it properly and prepare in advance through doing your due diligence and research to research your problem, research your solution, so that you can also create the best possible solution for that particular problem that needs to be solved, where there's many people that needs that problem solved and not just a small pocket of people
Yeah.
potentially that needs that problem solved. Because if it's a small pocket of people at that particular time in the industry or in business or in the marketplace, maybe it's a brick and mortar job that,
Yeah.
or maybe it's a brick and mortar business, or maybe it's an online business. There's a lot of different ways that you can also launch, build, and scale a business as well. So you now need to find out whether or not you have the capital as well to sustain launching a business, because it has definitely been proven through studies that any brand new business that's starting out, you will not necessarily see the fruit of your labor from between 3 to 5 years after you launch that business.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's what
And
I would highly recommend.
yeah, thank you for that information, because people need to understand that. And because if they don't, they will get frustrated and they lose patience and they say, wait a minute, I was there. I said, wait a minute now. I'm doing this, I'm spending all this money. How
Yes.
come I'm not? But
Yes.
then, as a leadership and life coach, I'm a coach. So
Yes.
every good coach has a coach, right? And my
Absolutely.
coach had to rein me in and
Yes.
say, look, it's not going to happen overnight.
At all. Nope. Nope.
Ramona, we see the success today. We see
Yes.
someone succeeding today. And in our mind, they did it overnight, not knowing
Exactly.
how much time they have invested, how much capital they have invested, how many
Exactly.
nights they stayed up, how many hours they put in to
Absolutely.
get there. We
And
just
we also,
see the end results.
yes, and we also don't know whether they bootstrapped it or whether they had business funding or whether they just had a little nest egg set aside and they worked in corporate America for 20 years and then decided to pivot and transition into building this business and used their nest egg that they had set aside specifically to build their business. So those are the things that I would definitely say that they would need to map out through their business plan. And that is also what I would definitely like to highlight or include in starting a business. You must have a business plan, meaning you must know the what, how, why, where, and all of the to-dos in terms of the skill sets that's going to be required. Prospecting, for example, promoting and marketing your business, for example. If you don't have a presence on social media, what tools are you going to use to help you build that presence and influence on social media? Are you going to integrate an AI software tool to help you so that it can do some of the heavy lifting and it won't be so time consuming and you won't burn out before the business even really takes off or get off of the ground? And business, it has ebbs and flows as well. There's going to be times where the business is flourishing. Speaking of go out and flourish. And then there's going to be times where you're going to have their seasons in business. And
Absolutely.
every business has a winter season where everything slows down a little bit. And during those times where you're in that winter season, you need to have a plan. Just as it says in Jeremiah 29:11, which is my absolute favorite, especially for business. My favorite scripture is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you, said the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, but plans to give you hope and a future. So my win strategy is the W, you have to be willing to do what others don't or won't do. And then the I is you have to find that thing or that person or those people or that platform or the events that's going to keep you inspired to keep going. When things get tough, and they will get tough, but when things get tough, what is your plan B? My plan B has always been to see plan A. Whatever you do, the end is never, ever give up. Don't give up on you. Don't give up
Never.
on those that you were called to serve. And definitely don't give up on those that are depending on you, because you were given that seed or that idea to start that business for a reason from a higher power. He gave it to you because you were called and chosen to bring that forth out into the workplace,
Yes.
out into the
Yes.
kingdom, to help people,
Yeah.
right? And we are all called to a group of people that we were called and chosen to serve. And they are
Yes.
waiting for you. They are,
Mhm.
I can't serve the people that you, Merlin, were called to serve, and you can't serve the people that he chose, God chose me to serve, right? Because it is something specific. Each one of us have our own unique gifts and talents and skills that we bring to the marketplace. So when we aren't in the marketplace, or when we don't bring forth that gift or that idea, and we put it out there into action and take action on it, there are a group of people that will not be served, and that will not get their solution or the answer to their problem
Yeah.
when we don't show up.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that ties right back to purpose. Why are you here? And
Yes.
it also speaks to why we should not compare ourselves with others,
Oh,
because
that's so
your
good.
clients are not my clients.
So
They're
good.
people who will come to you, they
Yes.
need you. The people who will come to
Absolutely.
me, they need my service. And if you
Absolutely.
look at everything from a service perspective,
Yes.
you won't get frustrated, because we're thinking
Absolutely.
about, if I don't do it, then I'm withholding something from someone who needs it.
Absolutely.
You're
Absolutely.
withholding. You
Yes.
know, God gave you those gifts, those talents for you to use to serve his people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's it. Your purpose is also, I love the fact that you mentioned purpose and you're tying purpose into business, because that is exactly what you want. The meaning, I'm speaking now to all of the new business owners who are thinking of starting a business and haven't quite started one yet. So, what is your purpose? Do you know what that purpose is? What is your purpose? And when you find out what your purpose is, and you really plug in and lock in and connect to that purpose, your purpose will always be tied to people. Your purpose, a lot of people confuse the fact that they think that their purpose is just for them.
You're not on this earth for you. We're
There
here
you
to serve
go.
others. We're here to
Absolutely.
serve each other. We are relational, and
Yes,
we were created to be part of communities and to serve the
absolutely.
communities. And that's
Yes.
just awesome. So this leads me into the next question that I have burning on my mind. How
Okay.
would you recommend entrepreneurs or business owners build a team or a network in this fast paced world of business
Wow.
that we are in today? It's very fast paced.
I love it. I love it. I love that question. So, how would I recommend that business owners in this very fast pace, I call it the microwave society? Everything is so fast. It's like lightning speed because of the internet, because of the World Wide Web, because we can get on one platform now and connect all over the globe in minutes or seconds. It is imperative that we cross pollinate audiences. Cross pollinate audiences is the quickest and fastest way to build a network. So, what we're doing right now, me getting on your podcast as a guest, we are now cross pollinating audiences. In other words, what I mean by that is I posted the flyer on my all of my socials. I posted it on my LinkedIn. I posted it on my Facebook. I posted it on my threads. I posted it on my Instagram. I let all of my audience know, who know, like, and trust me, what I'm doing, where I'm going to be, who I'm going to be doing it with, and where I'm going to be speaking, on what I'm going to be speaking on. Those that are interested will find me, because they are more than likely not only following me on one social media outlet, they are more than likely following me on multiple social media outlets. Or if they aren't following me, and or they're a very new follower, then guess what? They have now seen that I'm going to be speaking on a topic that of their interest, that they are interested in, and they are now going to make it their business to find me. That is why I posted the flyer. And that was me marketing not just myself and my business and what I'm doing, but
Mhm.
I'm also now helping and supporting to market the podcast, Let It Go and Flourish podcast, for Merlin's audience. So now Merlin's audience is now listening and watching wherever she's streaming live. and they're learning more now about me and my
Mm-hmm.
business. And what we are doing inadvertently is we're cross pollinating audiences, which is the absolute quickest way to start
Wow.
building an audience and getting more
I love
eyes
it.
on you and your business and your message.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. And I always invite my guests to post in the chat
Yes,
where the audience can find them. So at
absolutely.
some point, I need you to post that information in the chat so those listening will know
Yes,
where they can find Ramona Rogers, business coach and host of Crown for More podcast.
absolutely.
All right.
And
Now,
thank you so much for mentioning that as well. We're still in the launch phase of Crown for More. In fact, this month was the we have just transitioned from pre-launch. We were in the pre-launch phase, putting all of the pieces together, reached out to all of the people, have 5 people lined up right now that's already in close proximity to the studio as well. And I even used one of my connections there to the WATC TV. She already knew exactly what to do. And she said, I have 5 people lined up already, and she's one of them. So there you
wow.
go. That's another
Wow.
that's the beauty of connecting with like-minded people. They already know exactly what it is that you need. No different from Merlin and I. Whenever I ask Merlin to speak for me, she already knows exactly what it is that I need. She knows my messaging. She knows my principles. She knows my business morals, values, and goals. And when she shows up, she is definitely aligned. Her everything she speaks about is definitely aligned. And she now gets exposure to my audience as well. So we're supporting and uplifting and connecting ourselves and our businesses for our like-minded audience.
Absolutely. Collaboration is the current currency.
Yes,
It's not new,
absolutely.
it's the current currency.
That's it.
People
That's
are
it.
afraid of collaborating because they're in this competitive mode and they're
Yes.
thinking that when they do this, well, if I let her on my thing, then she's gonna get my audience or she
Oh my
forget
gosh.
about that. It's
Oh
some
no.
listen. I always talk about this one on my show and in different spaces.
Right?
One of my coaches said to me, look at the vast ocean. Look at that
Yes.
big body of water.
Yes.
Fill your 2 hands with water. Those are your clients.
There you
Look
go.
at the ocean. Does it even look like water was removed? No. Those clients are for everybody else.
There
So
you
there
go.
should be no competition. Just
Absolutely
think
not.
about collaboration.
That's it.
Collaboration,
That's it.
because we have different things to offer.
Yes.
We have different
Absolutely.
things to offer. And,
Absolutely.
you know, once we get away from the scarcity mindset,
Yes. And
we
that's
will
exactly
embrace
where competition
collaboration.
That's where competition comes from. It comes from a
Yeah.
place of lack. Competition, when you're coming from a place of competition, what you're really saying is, I need you to lose something in order for me to win.
Uh,
And
so,
we together cannot be on the same platform in the same space without one of us losing. And that could not be further from the truth.
oh my
We are
goodness.
so much stronger together
Together.
than we will
Together.
ever be apart. And when
Yeah.
we come together, there is an abundance of people, over 8 billion with a B, people in the world. And it's
Yes.
no different from McDonald's. When you look at fast food chains, well, you have McDonald's, you have Chick-fil-A, you have Wendy's, you have Burger King. They now have changed their business model over the years, rather than being in complete opposite ends of the community, which is what their old business model was. Okay, if there's a Burger King on the south end, then the Burger King or the McDonald's will come back on the north end and set up a store. Well, now, if you really paid attention, they are all now in one little
Yeah.
space,
Yeah.
because there is more people in one family that have different preferences, right? And I know
Absolutely.
I've done it when we were at my son's ball games and things of that nature. And at the end of the game, on our way home, we would stop and feed everybody. And there was one who couldn't tolerate McDonald's because of whatever, because it made them feel ill. And we would stop at McDonald's, just cross over to Chick-fil-A. And then on the way back home, we would pass Burger King.
Yeah.
And there was 5 people in the car and everybody got what they needed and wanted.
Choices, preferences.
Bingo. That
No.
is what you want to offer your clients. That was the key. You want to provide preferences and choices for your clients. And the more preferences and choices that you give them, the more convenient you make it for them, not for you
It's not about me. It's not
at
about
all.
me. For example, if someone comes to me and
Mhm.
I feel that you or someone else may be a better fit for them, for what they
Yes.
need,
Yes.
I want results. So if
Yes.
I'm not going to give them the results that they desire, I'm going to refer them
Absolutely.
to the person who I know
There you
will
go.
give them the results that they need, because it's about them and their experiences.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
love that because you shared that not too long ago. You shared that there was a client that came to you and you were just doing her onboarding or just the initial
Mhm.
the initial
Yes.
questionnaire, and you found that you did not have exactly what it is that she really needed at that time, which
No.
doesn't necessarily mean that you can't serve her at a later time after she
Yeah.
gets exactly what she needs to be
Yeah.
prepared to get the best possible results. So I have to
Absolutely.
commend you on that. You and I
Yeah.
had that conversation and I thought that is a true
Yeah.
business owner who is focused centered on the people and
The
what the people
people.
need and results oriented.
And I told her, I said, once you get the help that you need, you
Exactly.
can come back to me, but I cannot do that
That-
for you.
Precisely.
That's a
Absolutely.
client focused approach, not
That's it.
about me.
I love
Now,
it.
some people will just say, sure, and sign them up for 3 months, whatever. Then you're not
Exactly.
getting results. And
Yes.
then what happens to your reputation? What happens to that person's needs?
That's it.
So we have
That's
to
it.
be client focused. It's never about us.
Absolutely.
It's always
Absolutely.
about the audience, the
So
client.
true.
So, Ramona, how are you able to build the network that you have built on such a short time? I know you mentioned about the cross pollination and stuff like that.
Yes.
And you have built it in a short time, but you also maintained the relationships that have
Yes.
turned into collaborations.
Yes. 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 Thank you so much for asking that question. How was I able to do it? So one thing that I have to give credit for is to God, for one, for
Mhm.
giving me the gift of sustaining relationships. I like to keep what I create. I don't like to create it and just give it away. Or I don't like to create it or just forget about it later after I've created it and now the newness has worn off and the excitement is gone and the motivation has waned. Now it's not as important to me as at all. I am not that way. Actually, as time progresses, it becomes more valuable to me. So it's
Mm.
how you see your connections and your network. In fact, your network becomes your net worth. And
Yes.
when I think of my net work, it's not just necessarily monetary. When I say net worth, it's
Mhm.
not just monetary for me because relationships are worth more than money.
Absolutely.
And it's not who you know, it's who they know as well.
Mhm.
So for every one person that you are connected to, there's 5 to 10 other people that
Yes.
they are connected to that one person is mentioning your name, your
Mhm.
business, the
Yeah.
impact that you have made on them, or
Yeah.
the connection and the powerful connection and what they have gained and received or are getting out of being connected to you. So I mentioned this morning on another, it was like a podcast on that same app, by the way. It was in a business room this morning in the 4 o'clock room, the 4 o'clock European room with Marvin Reed. And I just mentioned this earlier. Your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card, and how you make people feel is your brand. So every time that I am out in the marketplace, it doesn't really matter where I am. I could be at church. There's I could be at an event, at a live event. I can be on my own event. I know that I am representing more than just me
Yeah.
personally. I am representing my brand. And everybody that's listening will
Mhm.
either resonate with me or not resonate with me, and both are okay. Both are okay. You are not for everybody, and everybody is not for you. That is okay.
Say it again for those in the back. Say
You, every time you show up in every setting and anywhere you go, you are representing your brand because your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card, and how you make people feel when they encounter you is your brand. That is what they are getting ready to go back out and talk about.
how you
And it can
made
take,
them feel.
yes, how you made them feel when they engaged or encountered you. How did you leave them? I take great pride in making sure that I leave people better than I found them.
Yes. Yes.
And
You
I
know,
give more than I take, meaning value. What are you leaving people with value? Is a question that you want to ask yourself. Did
yes.
I leave them with value?
Yes.
And
Yes.
that is how I operate on a regular basis. Did I leave them with value? And some people think, well, you gave all of this information away. But what they didn't realize was it wasn't me just giving anything away, it was me building something.
Building
I was
something.
building my brand. So the way that I did it and I built it is had the fortunate privilege of connecting with other phenomenal entrepreneurs on the app that you spoke about, Clubhouse, and I was in John Lee's room and all of those stages. And he has amassed 6 million followers all over social media sites over the years, of course, and he's a marketing guru. Everybody pretty much knows that by now. And I, by default, had no idea because we weren't on any of those social media platforms where he had built this 6 million followers. But I had no idea that because I showed up and was put in a moderator position,
Yes.
which was divinely orchestrated by the higher power of whom we serve, which is God. He had divinely orchestrated me to be placed in that place, in that position. And if I was able to show you my gratitude journal years ago in 2020 and 2021, I had wrote that I wanted to get on global stages and reach a global audience. I had no idea how it was going to happen. And this is for every single business owner out there. When you are speaking your goals and when you're creating your business, write those goals down and lead at every single day with gratitude, regardless of what it looks like and regardless of what's going on around you. Lead with gratitude. Count all of those challenges. Challenge is my favorite word, as everybody knows that have been on my platforms, and Merlin has heard it on many occasions. Challenge is my favorite word. And at the beginning of the word challenge, CHA, and at the end of the word challenge, NGE, built right into the word challenge is the word change.
Yes.
And that is what you are doing, whether you want to or not, or whether you believe it or not. Every single day, whether you want to change or not, you are changing. I'm not the person I was 2 months ago or 6 months ago or last year on May 1st of 2025. I am not the same person. That is exactly why we have a birth date every year where we're getting a year older and we're celebrating getting a year older. And as we are getting a year older, we have acquired more skills. We have acquired more wisdom. We have acquired more knowledge. And what you are called to do is steward that knowledge. That's a part of your gift. Steward those skills. Find out what skills are required to build this business at the launch phase. There's a separate set of skills that you need at the launch phase. And then there's another set of skills that you really need to focus more on at the build stage. And then there's another set of skills that you need at the scale phase. So those are the three main phases of building a business. The launch phase, you may need the DMOs more, which is your daily method of operation. Getting that system down, that's going to now prep you and prepare you for the next phase, which is your build phase. And at the build phase, you want to really hone in on the IPAs, the income producing activities. And then at the sustain phase, who is it that I need to bring in and connect with in my business that's going to now help me reach more, expand my reach and help me reach more clients in a shorter, quicker time frame.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, because that's a very important point. Who are you going to bring in?
Yes.
Because if you want to go fast, go it alone.
Yeah.
But if you
Oh my
want to go
gosh.
far, you need
Yes.
others. You need
Yes.
others. So
I
I'm a
love that.
solopreneur. Yes,
I
I'm a
love that.
solopreneur, but I have a team. They're
Yes.
1099 people. They're not W-2s, but they are a team. I reach out to
Absolutely.
this person for my marketing. I reach out for this, for that. You know,
Absolutely.
you're not doing it alone. If you
Nope.
want to go fast, you can do it alone. But if you
Yes.
want to go far,
Yes.
and be prepared to be a lifelong learner.
Yes. Oh, that's
Lifelong learner.
vital. That's vital. And I absolutely love that you said if you want to go fast, do it alone.
Mhm.
But if you want to go far, you want to have others. You need a team. You need other people around you, because it is impossible for one person to be everywhere
No,
and
you
have
can't.
their hands in everything, right? And when you're building that team, you want to make sure that you vet them and
Oh,
they have embraced your mission, your core values, and your vision. Because
absolutely.
otherwise you don't need, and you don't want a Jonah on your boat. Right?
Well, eventually we
While
got to
you're
get
building, it takes years to build it, but it only takes minutes to destroy it, right? So you want to make
absolutely.
sure that the people that you have, that you're bringing on the team, have the ability
Mhm,
to embrace
mhm.
your core vision, values, and
Mhm.
your mission. Are
Absolutely. If
they
they
mission
don't,
driven? Are they results oriented? Are
mhm.
they people? Are they a people person? How what type of a communicator are they? Do they embrace new people, or do they even embrace change? Because they
That's
could be
it.
very skilled. They could be very skilled at what they do, but can they embrace change? Because at the rate that changes happen today in business, if they cannot embrace change very well, and every time you have to pivot and transition, you have to now go back and take time to get them on board.
Yeah.
They are now holding the team back.
Yes,
They're
ma'am.
they're
They
they're
are.
a hindrance in the progress, right? So it is vital that, and it's no fault of their own, because that is our job as the CEO. You are the CEO of you when you are an entrepreneur, right? There are no
Mhm.
SOPs. So guess what? We have to create them. We
Yes.
still must
Yeah.
have them. Just because a corporation has SOPs, they have standard operating procedures, they have a human resource department and things of that nature, right? So guess what? When we are building our business, there's going to come a time in the building phase where you have to now structure,
Yes.
bring all of those things into the structure of your business, so that every single person that you're bringing on the team, before you start building that team, there is a role defined for them. There is a structure to how we operate and what we do and what we won't do.
Absolutely.
More
And the
important.
core value part is so important, because if
Yes.
they don't embrace your core value,
Yes.
your reputation could
Oh,
tank.
oh,
You ruin your brand. And
yes. You
when
ruin your
people see
brand,
your
your
brand,
reputation.
yeah.
And it takes money. It takes time. It
Oh,
took time,
to
energy,
rebuild.
money to build to the point where you are, and
Mhm.
then all for it to just be dissolved over something that could have been prevented. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I've seen that so often, and wow, wow.
And this is so important, because often people are skilled at what they
Yes,
do, but
yes.
they lack the soft skills, the
Ooh,
communication skills, the emotional intelligence, and
they lack the
that's
soft skills, right?
that's
People typically look for the hard skills, right?
Mhm,
That's what most people focus on, the hard skills. Oh, they
mhm,
are so good at this. They're so, but the soft skills, if you
mhm.
were to rate, the hard skills might be on a 10, soft skills might be on a 2.
Yeah, and that's not going
Meaning
to work.
emotional intelligence, communication.
Mhm,
Those are those soft skills,
mhm.
listening,
Yes,
adaptability.
adaptability.
Oh,
Yeah.
Imperative.
And I've been posting for the past couple of weeks about the importance of effective communication and
Yes.
that it can be a revenue leak. Because if
Yes.
you don't communicate effectively with
Oh,
your
I love what
internal
you, oh, I
client,
love that.
your
I love
employees,
that.
you
Effective
don't,
communication can be
if
the lack of effective communication can be a revenue leak, a leak.
it is,
I love
it's a
that.
revenue leak. Because
Yes, it is.
if you are a leader and you don't know how to communicate with your team members, you
Exactly.
bark orders at them instead of being empathetic. And
Yes.
if you don't know how to communicate effectively with your customers, you're going
Yes.
to lose them. And if you
Yes.
don't know how to communicate effectively and make sure your team members are clear on your instructions, how to
Yes.
communicate with them using their style when you communicate with them, they go and they spend lots of time doing work
Yep.
that were incorrectly done because they didn't understand you. And
Yes.
there's a lack of communication. So they have to redo what they've already
Absolutely.
spent time doing. That costs money
Absolutely.
and time. So
Yep.
they're not being efficient.
Yes.
They don't meet the client's deadline on time.
Exactly. So
So
true.
that's costing you money. And
So
when people
true.
said, how is that a revenue leak? This is just a few points on how that is a revenue leak.
Absolutely.
Communication is so important.
It
And
is.
that, yeah, and that leads me to the next question I have for you.
Okay.
What is your favorite level of leadership and why?
Mm. Wow, my favorite level of leadership. I absolutely love all of the levels of leadership, from especially from John C. Maxwell, the way that he spelled it out. I love the permission-based leader.
Hmm.
I love the permission-based leader. But my absolute favorite, is the pinnacle level of leadership.
That's it.
My favorite leaders that I admire and have admired over the years were all pinnacle
Yeah,
leaders.
yeah,
And the pinnacle level of leadership is the leader that has
yes,
built their authority, that has gone through all of the different levels of
yes,
leadership and have really honed in on the skills. And when they walk in a room, everybody knows, whether they know them or not. When they walk in a room, everybody knows their leader has just entered the room. And
yeah,
when they speak, they have instant credibility. They have instant authority and are rarely questioned. Their
that,
their their skills and their abilities are rarely questioned.
yeah, yeah.
It's just a known fact that this person is credible,
Hmm.
that this person is knowledgeable, that
Hmm.
this person has experience,
Hmm.
and that this person is now at a level where they are changing lives.
That's it. Transformation. You know,
Yes.
and you own in on it. You said,
That is the most transformational level of leadership, by the way. The
yes,
pinnacle
it
level of
is.
leadership is the most
Yeah.
transformation.
You said when they walk into a room,
That's
and
it.
the word you use is authority. You can
Yes.
see that they own the space they're in
Yes.
when they walk in with confidence.
Yes.
And that confidence comes from they know their stuff, they know how to communicate with people.
Yes.
And I'll share this short story. When I worked for this company years ago,
Huh?
and there was a new employee, and the manager walked around and introduced that new employee to different people.
Okay.
And there were four people sitting behind me,
Mhm.
and then my desk, then someone sitting in front of me. And she introduced the new employee to the people sitting behind me. She
Uh-huh.
walked right past my desk and
Uh-huh.
introduced the person to the person in front of me. She
Oh,
overlooked me,
oh,
and I was
wow.
sitting right there. And I said to myself,
We've all had those instances, right?
yeah. And I said, and I wonder what impression does she think this new employee has? And later on, the new employee, a gentleman, he came over to me later on and he
Uh-huh.
said, "Hi, my name tag was there." And he introduced himself to me and he asked what I
Okay.
did and we spoke, whatever. And I
Uh-huh.
said, "What did she do? What did she show that new employee?" You don't even have to open your
Mhm.
mouth sometimes when people just look at your behavior, your action.
Yes.
Said, and you're a leader. And that is
Yes.
why I like to differentiate the difference between leadership and management. Because
Mm,
being a manager
I
is
love
not
that.
the same as being a leader. That manager manages processes,
Yes.
policies. A
Yes.
leader influences people.
Absolutely.
Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less.
That's
Dr.
it.
John C. Maxwell.
Yes.
How can you positively influence people when you overlook other people who you think are not important in your
Mm,
life? And
that's
you
so
just,
good.
when people behave a certain way, that it says more about them than about you because she just showed
Absolutely.
them. And I said, wow. But I realized
Absolutely.
that's who that person is,
Yes.
and someone will walk about and say, oh, I don't like the managers over there because they do this. But that's not all the managers. That's that one person.
Absolutely.
It's that one person.
Absolutely. But you see how that one person now influenced someone else's opinion
Yes,
of all of the entire organization?
exactly.
That is how imperative it is for us
Mhm.
to vet who it is that we're putting where and what role we're giving them and clearly defining what the roles are and clearly defining the culture. What type of culture are we building here? And
Exactly.
and are you willing, capable, and able to transition from
Mhm.
wherever you were before and whatever culture you were in before, leave that where it is and was to now being a part of building, being an intricate part of building,
Mhm.
coming alongside as partners and building. Now, people are not perfect. None of
No,
us are, right?
no.
You and I just happen to have a lot of corporate, me over 20 plus years of corporate
Mhm.
experience, actually 30. I've been saying 20 plus for a long time. So it's over 30 technically. I
Mhm.
was just talking about working at TSYS for 5, and I was in corporate at that point as well. And then I was also a regional manager with Supercuts. And that was over 11 years. I started at 19, actually, traveled all over the world, opening stores, working with franchisees at such a young age, and they had a strict requirement. That is why they made sure that they brought Toastmasters to us wherever we were. Didn't matter
Ooh.
where I was traveling. You were required to be able to continue honing in on those skills that were also going to, by default, build confidence as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
those are all transferable skills, by the way. Those are
Absolutely.
all of those skills I have brought alongside me that I still use today, and I can still incorporate and integrate them in anything and everything that I do today.
Mhm.
So those were priceless, priceless years of training and development. And I want everybody out there who's building a business or looking to start a business to know this: your business is only going to grow as much as you can grow
Absolutely.
and are growing personally. So
Yeah.
entrepreneurship, I heard this entrepreneur explain this before, and I thought, wow, that's interesting. So that was in an MLM business that I was in, by the way, where you had to go out and prospect and you made money based on how many people you brought in, et cetera. However,
Mhm.
this still applies. It still applies. So well, entrepreneurship, let me go from this direction. Your entrepreneurship is personal development with a paycheck.
Yes. You
Personal
must be
development
committed to be
with
a lifelong
a
learner and develop yourself
yes, you have to
ongoing.
stay. The one I have books. I just went into my book closet. I was doing spring cleaning. So I went into my book closet. I still have the 1 Minute Manager. And I said, oh my God, how old is this book? We were all required to read it.
Yeah.
And they brought Ken Blanchard in to speak to us as well.
Mhm.
And of course, they sold their books when they did bring them. But the value that we learned from these gurus at the time, Jack
Yeah.
Canfield changed my life. He did this beautiful speech, and then did a an exercise that flipped my paradigm. And when I tell you, I went back to that market and I whipped those managers into shape, and I got my team of educators, trained them up, and we won national awards after that. And I owe it all to the likes of Jack Canfield, sorry, Jack Canfield and Bob Proctor's. They brought them all in to
Yeah.
our corporate trainings,
Yeah.
and priceless, just priceless. But yes, there are transferable skills that we
Mhm.
must continue to build. And if you have a weak area, and we all have blind spots and we all have weak areas, but
Yes.
if you are cognizant of what your strengths and your weaknesses are,
Mhm.
what you really need to do is focus on your strengths, but
Yes.
build your weaknesses.
Absolutely. And as a DISC behavioral analyst, I can say that I help people identify their strengths and weaknesses,
Yes.
leaning into their strengths. However, don't ignore those blind spots. You want
Nope.
to work on them to build them up so that
Yeah,
you could be the best version of yourself for yourselves and for the organization. And,
absolutely.
my tagline for my business is we are moral authority. And what that
Mm,
means
I love
is the
that.
highest level of authority. It's the
Yes,
highest, and it's not about position or
that's it.
title. And that's what
Yes.
it says. It has nothing to do with your position or title, because many people are still believing that you'd need to have a title to lead. And they think
Mm,
that once someone slaps a title on your name, that automatically makes you a leader.
that's
Moral
the
authority leadership
yes.
is one that is earned from the people who you lead. And these leaders are consistent, competent,
Yes.
courageous,
Yes.
confident, and they're empathetic.
Oh, I love that.
They
I
are
love that.
it's earned
Yes.
recognition from the people you
Yes.
lead.
Yes, yes,
You're
yes. Earned
trustworthy.
recognition. Love that. Now let me I thought maybe you might ask when you asked me what my favorite leadership position was, but I
Mhm.
thought you were going to ask me what was my least favorite. So I'm going to share it because you just touched on it. My
Okay.
least favorite is positional leadership.
Yeah. It's the lowest
Meaning,
level.
it's the lowest level of leadership. But in some people's mindset, it's because I have this title that gives me the authority. No, it's not the title that gives you the authority. The title is the low. People respect you because of your title, only your title.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily respect you for the knowledge, the skill, the experience, and the core values, or any of those things. They respect you because you have a title. I am the
And that's
manager, the
very
plant
sad.
manager today, or I am the this or the that. But do they respect you?
Mhm.
And do they really truly value you and what you bring is the question with
Have
positional
you
based leadership.
earned their respect? That's another thing.
Exactly.
Have you earned their respect? You see,
Yes.
it's nothing wrong with having a title or a position. But if you promote someone into leadership and you did not train them,
Yes.
you're doing them a disservice and you're doing the team members a disservice, because everybody's going to be frustrated because they're being managed and not led. That's the
Absolutely.
problem.
Absolutely. So true. So
Mhm.
true. Yes, you literally have to, your job, I should say, is building credibility with your team. Not just because of the position in the title that you hold, but building credibility with your team is vital. And you
Vital.
will do that by showing them. This is a process that we used to use. Show, tell, let, try. And then you assess, and then you show, tell, let, try again. And
Yeah,
that is the process of leaders. Leaders make everybody around them better. It is
they
your
do.
job. It's your job to develop your team, to develop them into leaders as well. We also had a strategy where we had to train. We had a requirement, as a matter of fact, where we had to train the people above us and below us. That
Yes,
was
you need to
train the
train
trainer.
people to be leaders. A
Yes.
great leader develop other leaders.
Yes, that's exactly what leaders do. We develop other leaders.
That's
And
right.
not just identify, but develop other leaders as well. So we want a pipeline of leaders, not just one, because when that one falls off or that something happens and that one is no longer available, now we are, what do we have?
Nothing.
Where is our pipeline of people when that one steps out of that role and maybe they get promoted? Doesn't have to be something derogatory or bad. Maybe they got promoted. Now what happens? There's no other pipeline. Yes, we can have a warm body and plug a warm body into a spot. However, are they
Prepared.
prepared?
No.
Are they capable? Are they not even qualified? Because
Mhm.
hard skills are easy to teach. It's the
Yeah.
soft skills that
The
aren't as easy to
soft
teach.
skills. That's it. And that's the mistake that many people make. Oh, they've been here with for 10 years. They're good at what they do. So I'm going to promote them. But you
Yes.
do them a disservice if you don't train them. And I asked this business owner about coming in to train. And he said, I really don't have a budget for training and development. So
Oh,
my next question is, what will it cost you if you keep them and don't train them?
oh, what would it
What will it
cost? Yeah,
cost you?
I don't have budget for training and development, but you have budget to keep hiring
New people.
for
Mhm.
turnover.
Yes,
Because
and that's costing
that's
you more.
essentially what the flip side of not training and development is. You have a high
Absolutely.
turnover. Yeah, high turnover rate. That's something that we definitely honed in on. I honed in. That was the first thing I focused on. What is your turnover rate? We actually tracked it. What's your turnover rate? This store had a turnover rate of this. This store had a turnover rate of that. And then the franchisees, and the reason why it was imperative is because the franchisees were paying to train. That was a requirement in the franchise world that I was in anyway, was they had to have a budget for training and development. And if
Yeah.
the more the franchisees invested in training and development, we saw a lower turnover rate.
Absolutely. So
Awesome.
now, what what you recommend? What do you recommend to a novice speaker? Because you are an international speaker, a certified international speaker, right? What do you recommend to a novice speaker who's just getting started to get exposure to their message and get it in front of the right audience to get on stages and eventually get paid?
What I would recommend is to keep showing up. Do not ever stop showing up. Get on the podcast. As many as possible. Get on the stages, virtual stages included. Get on those stages as much as you possibly can. And eventually, what's going to happen is what you're doing is you're getting more eyes on your business and your message and showcasing your talents and your skills, for one. And the more people that recognize you, the more opportunities will come and will show up. And that is what I would highly recommend. Also, go ahead and get you a speaker sheet or a speaker sheet ready, a
Yes.
speaker packet ready, where you will actually have your resume, you will have all of the actual topics that you speak on, your specialty topics of
Mhm.
expertise that you speak on, and you will now create letter a letter that you can actually send to corporations that you know are aligned with the topics that you speak on. Every single corporation, by the way, every single large corporation, you may be better at speaking at high schools. You may be better at speaking at colleges. You may be better, your topics, that is, may be better for speaking on stages with corporations,
Mhm.
major corporations, Fortune 500 corporations. There are sports teams from high school, college, all the way up to the NFL who bring in motivational and inspirational speakers as well.
Yeah. Mhm.
So you will want to definitely create a pipeline of all of the speeches, take pictures of yourself, document yourself on stages, small stages included, and post them. Because the first thing that they're going to do is take a look at your socials. They are going to go onto your LinkedIn, they're going to go onto your Instagram, they're going to go onto your Facebook, and they're going to see, what has she been doing? Where has she been? Who is she connected to? And it tells a story. Your social media outlets tell a story. So
They
hopefully
tell
what
a
you are
story.
posting
They
is
do.
also representing your journey that you have been on
Yeah, yeah.
as
I
well.
just look at
And
the
they will be
comments
able to
here.
vet you that way. But definitely give them testimonials. Another thing, I don't want to leave that out. Testimonials are vital. Make sure that you
Absolutely.
include testimonials on your speaker sheet, as well as maybe get a couple of video testimonials to post on your pages.
Absolutely. That's so important because you need to be prepared with that speaker sheet. You need to be
Yes.
prepared. You can't wait until you're ready, then you get an invitation and then, okay, let me see if I can prepare
And now
one.
you have to stop, pause, and get it all together, right? So
Exactly.
you
Be
want to be able to say the
prepared.
minute that opportunity shows up, you want to be able to just say, well, guess what? If you don't mind, do you mind me sharing my speaker sheet with you? And or self-promoting is also vital as well. When you're out there on the live events or at the live events and you're networking, go to as many local networking. I know that you're a part of the Christian Chamber of
Maryland,
Commerce here in Maryland.
Maryland Chamber Christian Chamber of Commerce. So I'm part
Yes.
of that. Yes. And I'm
And
also
I
part of
know,
the Baltimore Chamber of Commerce. So we need to,
absolutely.
we do that already. So I was just looking at the comments here, and my friend Coach Carrie Willis, she said, checking in from Indiana.
Oh, wow. Hello,
Cross-pollinating.
Indiana.
Yes. She said she mentioned something that she referenced something that you mentioned, Ramona.
Okay.
Cross-pollinating audiences works if you're connected to people who know how to network authentically.
Ah,
Yeah. And
great
then
point. Great point,
yeah,
Carrie. Yes, yes, yes. And that is imperative that you strategically choose the events that you go to, the networking events that you go to, and that you really learn what what is all entailed when you are networking. What do you do, right? They don't have business cards anymore, where it was we were back in the day, we were out belly to belly, face to face, and you would shake hands. And I mean, we literally trained on how to shake hands properly and how to greet people properly, using eye contact, and meaning showing your confidence, right? When you first introduce yourself to someone, you don't want to just look down, a weak handshake. You don't introduce yourself and say your name and what you do. Even now, when you introduce yourself, you don't want to give them your full resume. I am a coach, the power of three. I am a coach, I am a speaker, and I am an author.
that's it.
Or I'm an entrepreneur, I am a speaker, and I am a coach of women between the ages of.
Yeah.
Give them very short, clear, concise
Yeah.
titles of exactly what it is that you do. And then, would you like to scan my QR code on my phone? Is now
That's
your business card.
instead of business card, because you know what happens to those business cards? They get tossed somewhere. They lose them.
They go
Not
into their
intentional, but
pocket,
they
they get
lose
washed
them.
in the washer, they get thrown in their glove compartment in the car, they clean out their purse. And not only that, if you do happen to get a business card still, which is very rare, right? Every now and then you still do. You
Yeah.
want to write the name of the event, of where you met
Yeah.
that person, on the back. And you also want to exchange information. If they gave you a business card, that is the first indicator that there is something about you that they want you to know about them. So now you make sure that you didn't just take their business card, have a short conversation, and walk away. You should have now taken the opportunity to give them your personal information of how they can contact you as well. And yes, Carrie from Indiana, you are absolutely right. You must make sure that the events that you are participating in can network and provide a networking opportunity. So you're not just sitting there listening to a presentation, but they provide some mingling time in the beginning of the event or
Yeah.
maybe after the event. And you want to make sure that that is built in to give you the opportunity. Now, when you have that opportunity, you should be using it wisely. You should be using it wisely. Not every setting provides it, and not every setting is appropriate for you to just walk up to people and introduce yourself. So if it's not the setting, then you don't do it. But if they have provided specific time, maybe on your lunch break, I know for a fact that there aren't many events that don't provide a break in between, right? And while you're in the break, going to the restroom, you might run into someone and you might strike up a conversation. Well, do
Yeah.
you mind us swapping information?
Mhm.
And just like that, you put their name in your phone as a contact. And then you also, I always add the company of where, if they don't have a company or if they don't have a company name, I put their company / where I met them, the event. Or I just put the event name as the company of where I met them. So that
Mhm.
if they come up or they call or I'm calling them, it shows literally exactly what their name, it shows their name and the company when it comes up on your caller ID, so that you know, because maybe there's 5 Nicoles in your phone, right? And now when you get home and her name was Nicole, she gave me her number, now there's 5. But you didn't identify where you met them. So now
Yeah.
you have to realize, okay, so is this the Nicole, from which event are they, etc. So you
Yeah.
want to be very clear, even when you collect their information, to be very clear and specific as to where you met them as well. And there's a 24 to 72-hour rule that I trained my people on anyway, and people that I coached as well on, is 24 to 72 hours after that event, you call, reach out, or send them a little video text, because you can do video text now.
Okay.
Send them a little video text and just say, hello, Merlin. This is Ramona. We met 3 days ago, 2 days ago, yesterday at this particular event, and we shared information. And I just wanted to let you know that it was an absolute pleasure meeting you. I'm looking forward to getting on a call with you so that we can talk further about how we are aligned, or maybe how we can get on each other's podcasts, or how we can work together in the future. Feel free to give me a call back leave your number. And thank you very much. And it was great meeting you again. And that way you have now solidified. You are now standing out, speaking.
Mhm.
And it's only for Carrie, I think is her name. It's only for
Coach
Carrie
Karen.
that I decided to just elaborate on a little note of what you can do to stand out from all of the others.
Yeah.
Um, and to maintain the contact, solidify the contact, and to
Yeah.
maintain communication.
And we did that. Coach Carrie and I, we met on the
Awesome.
Garcia show, and then we had a Zoom call, and we're going to be
Amazing.
connecting, collaborating, and because she is an amazing financial coach, financial
Awesome.
mutual fund space,
Love it.
insurance, all of that. She's certified in her
Amazing.
Series 6, Series 63. So I know that someone
Awesome.
comes to me who needs to know about mutual funds and all of that stuff. Coach Carrie, we connected, we did that Zoom call to learn about each other,
Absolutely.
and that's
That's
what
the
we're
power
going to
of
do.
collaboration. That's the power of collaboration.
Collaboration. And here
What
she
you just
said,
described was the
that's
power
a
of
topic I
collaboration.
speak on often.
Yes,
Collaboration is the new currency. So that's a comment from her. So Coach Carrie, we'll be following up soon. Okay. All right.
absolutely. Long gone are the days of competition.
No, no, it's a dirty word.
Absolutely.
So, Ramona, is there a last word you want to share? How can they find you? If someone wants to do business with you, how can they find you? Do you have links that you can share in the comment here?
Absolutely. Actually, I am in the process of revamping my actual website right now as we speak. So later today it will definitely be back up, because I'm adding a few things, like my Crown for More
Okay.
podcast and a Crown for More. There's a course coming out as well. So I'm adding a few things on my actual link right now as we speak. So a little bit later today, but I am definitely still going to put it in the chat right now. Royal Influencers Organization.com.
Okay.
There we go. And then
Oh,
I don't know if you want to pin it for them. You can if you like.
so let me see. Why am I not seeing?
Oh, I'm in the studio chat. Did you want me to go to the comments and put it in the
Yeah,
comments?
put it in the
Okay, sorry.
comments so that everybody
Oh,
on
there we
LinkedIn can
are.
see.
Oh, I see Coach Carrie Willis there. Yes, absolutely. Hold on. Hold on a second. I'll definitely add it here as well. Let me close that out. Oh, I have to join the chat. Okay. I was actually in our other chat,
Okay,
the
got
private chat. You know
Okay.
what? It's telling me that I have to join. So what you can do is you can find me on LinkedIn, Ramona Rogers, international speaker on LinkedIn. And then on IG, I am Ramona Rogers 959 on IG. And then I am on Ramona Rogers Smith on Facebook as well. And you can also find me on Threads as well. So I am on all social media platforms, either Ramona Rogers or Ramona Rogers Smith, and 959 on IG for sure.
Okay. All right.
Yes. And
So,
I was just in Marvin Reed's room, and that's exactly what we were working on as tech. So I have some tech that I'm implementing inside of my on my link and my website right now, and I'm adding the Crowned for More podcast information and course as well. That'll be coming up shortly. So that is exactly what we're doing right now as we speak, as a matter of fact.
okay, great. Thank you so much, Ramona.
You're
And
absolutely
at
welcome.
this time, I'm going to close with a word from our sponsor.
Hello,
Awesome.
I am Merlin Clark. And as the owner of Mac Leadership Solutions, I know you're driven for growth. The Mac Success Academy is your launchpad to capture those explosive moments and achieve the success you crave. For less than your daily coffee habit at $17 a month, you will gain access to live training, action-oriented teachings, and a library of digital courses that are written, audio, or video. Don't miss out on this investment in yourself. It's the key to unlocking the best year of your life. At under $1 a day, you'll gain the tools and strategies to dominate this year and beyond. Remember, lasting transformation demands action. If you yearn for more success, growth, happiness, and stability, the Mac Success Academy is your answer. It's time to stop wishing and start thriving. Join us today.